sometimes you just need a little snacky snack before the big meal, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. We've got 3 different appetizers that are perfect for Thanksgiving. They're perfect for any get-together, quite honestly. If you're like me, in our house, we do Thanksgiving early. We do it around lunchtime, so we don't really have to worry about the appetizers as much. But I've got several get-togethers that I'm going to be going to that I'm probably going to make some of these for. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. First things first, I'm going to be making a cheese ball, so it needs to stay in the fridge all afternoon before we eat it. So let's make that first, and we'll taste it later. This is a pumpkin-shaped cheese ball. Don't worry, it's not a pumpkin-flavored cheese ball. It's gonna have great flavors, but it is gonna be shaped, and it's gonna look like a pumpkin. It's so cute. I say it's going to. We really hope it's going to. I'm making it, so we'll see how it goes. For this recipe, you need a block of cream cheese, and then you also need garden vegetable flavored cream cheese. So I need both of these softened, so I'm gonna work on that now. We need to finely dice this red bell pepper. I need to save the stem because the stem is going to be our pumpkin stem at the end of all of this. So I'm gonna set this to the side for now, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do with that to make sure it doesn't kind of brown and get ugly on us, you know? But let me finally dice this. Now that that's done, I've got a couple of green onions here. I'm gonna slice these up really small as well. And since this is gonna have several veggies in it, I thought maybe we could add some herbs to it as well. That's the cabinet you sit in. We're gonna go in here to my indoor garden and get just a couple of things to add into this cheese ball. I've talked about this before, and I'll tell you more about my garden in a little bit, but I love this thing. So our indoor garden stays over here in this corner of the dining room, which is very nice and very convenient because it's right off of the kitchen. But for this particular one, I think I'm going to pull a little bit of fresh thyme and maybe some Italian parsley to go in our cheese ball. From my garden, I grabbed some Italian parsley, a little bit of thyme, and just a little bit of basil. This is just gonna add some fresh flavors to the cheese ball. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna chop these up really quickly. Our cream cheese is softened, so we're gonna add in our block and our vegetable cream cheese. And we are gonna mix this with an electric mixer. Okay, that's nice and creamy. We're gonna be using some Hidden Valley Ranch mix. It's the Fiesta kind. I looked for the spicy kind, which is what the recipe calls for. Could not find it at my store, so I just got this one. You could use regular as well, I'm sure. You need a couple of tablespoons of this, which I think is close to the whole pack. I can't remember if the whole pack is 2 or 3 tablespoons. I'm just gonna measure it out. The whole pack is 3 tablespoons, so there's some left over. We're gonna add in our red pepper that we finely diced, our green onion as well, and then I'm gonna add in the herbs that I got from the garden. Let's stir all of this, and then I haven't shredded my cheese yet, so I need to do that, but let's combine this first. It's all over my fingers, so that means I have to try it, right? Oh, that's tasty. Oh my goodness. All right, I think we need 2 cups of shredded cheese. We're gonna use 1 cup now, so I need to do that. And you know, usually you could use either freshly shredded, like I'm doing now, or you could use the bag, but I'm gonna recommend that you don't use bagged cheese this time because it's not as sticky as this, and you're gonna want it to stick to the outside of the cheese ball, so shred your own cheese for this one. Now let's add a cup of this cheese in and mix that around. Alrighty, my friends, now comes the part where I'm a little scared. So we need to spread out some plastic wrap, pretty large thing of it. We're gonna sprinkle about 1/4 cup of this cheese. Now we're gonna take our mixture and plop it here in the middle, right on top of that cheese. I'm gonna try and shape it into a little ball, but we're gonna shape it mostly with the plastic wrap afterwards. But now I need to top it with the remainder of this cheese. And then I also need to put it around the sides. I mean, I feel like that's pretty good, right? Okay, now we just need to wrap this up. Let me wash my hands first. We're gonna wrap it up into a ball, and then I may do another layer of the cling wrap. Now, we gotta make it look like a pumpkin. It's gotta have the little indentions, right? I'm using hair ties because I don't have the big thick rubber bands. I had a couple, but I didn't have enough. You know what? I might need one more hair tie, but that's okay. I'll go grab it in a second. First things first, let's figure out how to get this thing on here. Trying to get it right across the middle. Let's do another one. Never thought my hair ties would be used for this, I have to say. Now, yeah, I need to go grab one more. Let me go grab another hair tie. Got it. Okay, feel like that's good. Got them all kind of evenly situated. Okay, I think that's good. It's as good as it's gonna get. This is going in the fridge for at least a couple of hours. I've got my stem here that's gonna be the stem of our pumpkin. I'm gonna wrap it in a wet paper towel and put it in a little plastic baggie and stick it in the fridge just so that it doesn't get all brown on me. That's gonna go in the fridge as well. And we'll check on all of this in a few hours, but that means it's time to make our next one. I would like to thank Garden for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Having an indoor garden has really changed everything for us. Garden with a Y is a groundbreaking, award-winning vertical indoor garden for growing herbs, fruits, and veggies indoors. It uses LED lighting, it uses hydroponics and AI or artificial intelligence to help you grow an indoor garden, and it is foolproof. Even if you don't have a green thumb, you can do it. We've had one for well over a year now. Just about 6 months ago, they sent us the newest garden, the 4.0, and it just had some updated technology, but we love it because it tells me everything I need to do. The mobile app alerts me when I need to add water to the base. It also lets me know when I need to go in and trim the roots, or if it's time to add plant food. Because we've had it for over a year now, we change out what we have growing in there from time to time. Sometimes we have more lettuces growing. Right now we have more herbs growing. It's just kind of what we are wanting at the time. Some of my favorite things to grow in here are herbs. I do love growing our own lettuce too because we're able to do salads very easily. I've learned that we enjoy the herbs more. So I've got a good many herbs coming up here right now. I've got, like I mentioned, the thyme, we have basil, we have sweet Thai basil. And then I've got some tomatoes growing as well. I've got yellow and red cherry tomatoes. I've got cilantro, more Italian parsley, tatsoi we have really come to enjoy. It's very similar to a spinach, so I use it in place of spinach a lot of times. But we've got a lot of great stuff growing on here right now. But you see I have a few of these capped where I don't have anything growing in them currently. I'm gonna be replanting some new seeds in my little nursery here and starting those out here soon, and then once they sprout, they will just be placed where they need to go here on the actual garden. I love my garden. I love that it's smarter than I am because of the AI technology, and it's just so convenient to be able to walk into our dining room, grab what we need to add to our dishes. So if you're interested in looking into getting an indoor garden for your home, you can get the one that we have. They also have a smaller one now called the Garden Studio. Just go click the link in my description box below. You can unlock an exclusive offer by using that link, and this would be a really great gift for yourself and or your family for the holidays. So be sure to check them out using that link below. And thank you to Garden for sponsoring this video. You know what I love, but I don't make, but very, very rarely? Sausage balls. It only takes 3 ingredients. It's so quick and easy, but everyone loves them. Today we're making sausage balls. I'm going to use hot sausage because it just has a better flavor in my opinion when it comes to sausage balls. To me, it doesn't make them spicy, but it's up to you. But let's get started. For this recipe, we are gonna need a lot of cheese, 16 ounces of cheese. So I'm gonna shred that now. I am setting up my shredder. I've already run my dishwasher today and I washed my shredder in there. While I'm setting this up, I have a question. We always have deviled eggs at Thanksgiving. Do you consider that an appetizer or do you serve it with your meal? We always just serve it with the meal. It just sits out and it's something extra you put on your plate. But when I was doing some research for Thanksgiving appetizers, deviled eggs was one of the ones that was most popular. And I don't really consider it an appetizer. Let me know below. How do you serve deviled eggs if you have them on Thanksgiving? Do you serve them before the meal or with the meal? So we're gonna shred this entire block of cheese. It's a lot. Still got more to go. That is a lot of cheese. Gracie Lou would be so happy. Something I forgot to do first is preheat the oven. We need to preheat it to 350. I've got my pound of sausage. It's been sitting out on the counter for a little while, so it's not super cold. And then I also need 2 cups of Bisquick. So let's add 1 and 2. And we're gonna mix it with our hands. I've already taken my rings off. This is not my favorite thing to do, but you know what? I probably could have used my stand mixer for this, so I didn't have to do it by hand, but here we are. A little too late for that. Okay, now that we've got this completely incorporated and mostly into one big ball, Now we add our cheese in and really incorporate that as well. Now that all of that is incorporated, I'm going to use this small cookie scoop just to make them all the same size. I'm going to go in and just put them here on this pan. You could line this with parchment paper as well. Mine's super duper non-stick, so I don't have to worry about that really, but that would be helpful. And you should get about 30 of these sausage balls. So I will say I'm still scooping them with this, but then I'm kind of manipulating it a little bit because otherwise it's not a perfect little round ball when it comes out of the scoop. So I am doing that afterwards. So I'm just taking it and rolling it up and placing it on. Done. I definitely have more than 30. Let me count these. I have 35, but hey, we have them. These are going into a 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes. It has been 25 minutes. Oh my, get in my belly. Look at the gorgeousness that are these sausage balls. They're all sizzly. Yes. So these are gonna hang out over here and we're going to crank the heat up on this to 375 because it is time for our third recipe. These, I feel like the base recipe left something to be desired, so we're gonna add to it, but these are called feta cheese foldovers. I love feta and I love puff pastry. We're using those together. We're gonna add some extras. Let's do it. This puff pastry has been sitting out to thaw for about 40-45 minutes. We need to crack an egg and go ahead and beat that here in this bowl. Excellent. Excellent. I'll see my way out. We're gonna add some more green onion. That should be good. We're also gonna add some pickled jalapenos that I'm gonna dice. So not a lot, but I feel like this will give it some more flavor, some more tang. Now it says in a small bowl to mix some things, but this is really small, so I'm gonna throw my egg in here. We're going to add our green onion and our jalapeno. Then you need about 8 ounces of crumbled feta cheese, just this whole package. So, and then I was thinking maybe some garlic. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of garlic powder as well. Not a lot, maybe a half a teaspoon. Let's just mix all of that together, make sure it's all good and coated in that egg. Oh yes, that smells really good. All right, we've got that. Let's unfold our puff pastry and then we gotta cut it up. And I have a second puff pastry because I couldn't really tell on the directions if it needed both of them. I'm thinking it does, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. The thing is, we need 12 of these in like 3-inch squares. So where is my pizza cutter? So 3 inches is basically one of these. Okay. I mean, I could be wrong, y'all. I'm just winging it. This recipe came from All Recipes, and sometimes those don't have the best directions, you know? But we're gonna take about a mounded tablespoon and place it in the center of each one. Yeah, I'm gonna need the other one. All right, let me grab my other puff pastry because we're definitely gonna have to do this a second time. So same thing. I hear someone, I think that's the hubs coming in here. That is the hubs.
Dude, what is this?
Sausage balls. Don't touch them.
Oh my goodness. I can't have no sausage balls?
Not yet. We're gonna do a taste test in a few minutes. It's a feta cheese fold over.
Well, we're just gonna fold that right over into my mouth.
Oh my. Now, the fun part. I need to grab another egg because we need the yolk from another egg. So let me do that. I hate separating eggs. It is never an easy task for me and I don't know why. Before we need the egg, we need to wet the edges of all of these with a little bit of water. So I'm just gonna do that now. Okay. Got that done. Now we need to fold these over. Each one is gonna make a little triangle, hopefully. And then we're gonna seal the edges with a fork, but we'll do that in a minute. First, I just wanna get them all folded over. They are all in little triangles. So now we just need to seal the edges, like I mentioned, with a fork. Some of my feta stuff is escaping because I overstuffed some of them, I guess. All right, so all of these have been sealed with a fork. Now comes this. We need to add, I think, a little bit of water to this as well. So I added just like a teaspoon of water. Just gonna stir that around and we're gonna brush this over top of each of these. Okay, all of those are done. Now, let's put these on a baking sheet. I'm really hoping they will all fit on this little bit smaller baking sheet I have from Caraway. I'm not thinking it's gonna happen, friends. I'm a little worried about that one. Okay. They're all not gonna fit, so let me grab another one. Okay, these are going in a 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna pop them in that way so I can pop these in beside it. Let's set our timer for 20 minutes. It has been 20 minutes and these are nice and puffed up and golden brown on top. Look at those. Oh my goodness. They look amazing. The only other thing I need to do is grab our pumpkin shaped cheese ball out of the fridge. It has been several hours, so I'm going to pull all of these hair ties off and let's unwrap it. I'll show you a top view here in just a second. First, let's grab our little stem out. That still looks amazing, by the way. And we're just gonna pop that right there in the middle. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love this. Let me show you. How adorable is this little pumpkin? Okay, let me transfer it over and we're gonna do a taste test. I can't see you, it's so dark in there. It's only 5 o'clock, but it's so dark.
Look at that. Look at that pumpkin.
Is it not precious?
That is, babe, you knocked it out of the park.
Thank you.
Wow. Visual presentation, A+.
Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, these are called Feta cheese foldovers.
All right.
And I did a little extra something in those. So
Okay.
more than what the recipe called for.
Yum.
This is our pumpkin shaped cheese ball. No pumpkin inside of it.
Okay.
And then we have sausage balls. You ready for a taste test?
Yes, let's get into this.
Are you so excited?
I am.
Okay, I've already had a sausage ball. But I'm gonna grab a feta cheese foldover.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, should we try the same thing?
We can,
Let's try the same thing here.
These are nice and hot.
Oh boy.
Tink.
Oh man, that's amazing. Wow, that is really good. Like a cheesy, it's like, I don't know, all kinds of flavors in that. Cheesy, garlicky maybe or something. Flaky.
I added a little bit of diced pickled jalapenos to it.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a little extra something in
Yeah,
there.
that's definitely something that I'm.
So when you take a bite on the edge, you don't get as much of the feta cheese mixture.
Right.
So once you get to the middle is where all the flavor is.
But that flaky, whatever this is, that is delicious.
That is good.
Man.
Okay,
Right.
go ahead with the sausage
Sausage
ball.
ball, here we go. Man. Got that crunchy caramelized
Cheese.
cheese
Yeah.
right there on the outside. And then, of course, the sausage. I mean, you can't go wrong with that kind of sausage. With
So
that,
good.
that is incredible.
So good. Now, the sad part is we've got to dig into this gorgeous pumpkin cheese ball.
I am not going to cry.
Wait, didn't you have a knife? I thought you had a knife. There you go. I've got some Ritz crackers here because I already had Ritz crackers on hand. But you could definitely serve this with some veggies or all kinds of different things.
Here, let me turn them around and show you kind of putting some on the
Okay.
thing there.
I hate to mess it up. It's so daggum cute. Okay. Oh, look at the inside of it. All right, I'll give you some too.
All right, now, cheese ball. Tink. Whoa. Oh, man. Wow. Man, that's good.
So much
That has
flavor.
got some flavors in there. Wait a minute. Is that a pepperoni I see in there?
No.
What is that?
There is red pepper, there's green onion,
Okay.
and then a few herbs. Basil,
There's something in there.
thyme,
Yeah, okay.
and parsley.
You're talking about flavors. I mean, wow. It's got almost like a pimento vibe.
It does. It does. That's a good description. Very similar to pimento cheese
But it's like way up here, pimento cheese.
as far as like extra flavor.
Yeah.
Because we added that Hidden Valley Ranch, Fiesta Ranch in there.
Okay.
Here,
I'm
take
gonna
this
be here a
one.
while.
Here.
That is delicious. Yeah, you could definitely get the peppers that are in there. That is a really nice flavor.
It is.
I love that.
That's one of the better cheese balls I've ever made.
Yeah, and it's not too like pasty, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's
No.
kind of a
It's very creamy.
yeah. It's like a creamy,
Well, you know it's cream
and then the
cheese.
cheddar cheese. Oh man.
This is dinner tonight, my friend, and we are not mad about it.
No.
All right, I have spent all afternoon in the kitchen making these. I don't recommend making, unless you're having a huge get-together, don't make all three of them at the same time, but all three are amazing. I highly recommend this pumpkin cheese ball. I was really nervous about it, but it turned out so good. And if you don't have rubber bands. You can use hair ties like I did. It worked beautifully. But this was a success.
Yeah, it is a success. I mean,
I'm so glad.
you hit a grand slam here.
Thanks. Which one's your favorite?
Golly, don't make me do that. I'm going to say the cheese ball.
It's
is
just
my
so
favorite.
different.
It's a different kind of cheese ball. It's really just, it's not, I don't know. There's something about it that's just not the same cheese ball that you know, it's not your run of the mill type of thing.
I think these are my favorite.
I would say that's number 2, and then the sausage ball. Just because I've had the sausage balls.
We're used to
like
the
this
sausage
before.
balls, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just familiar with them, but those two, amazing.
The feta in this, wow.
What'd you rank them difficulty?
They were all about the same on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest. Honestly, they were all very easy. I would say like a 3, but then the assembly, rolling each sausage ball, cutting and doing all the things for the foldovers, making sure you figured out how to do the pumpkin shape correctly. That was a little more involved. That was more like a 6. But it wasn't hard. It was just time consuming. I mean, it didn't take forever, but it wasn't super fast, you know?
Right.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. There you go. Thanksgiving appetizers. Make all 3 or just make 1. Tell me which one is the one that's the standout for you. And good luck. They are amazing and your guests will love them. See y'all next time. Bye.